Welcome to the Global Warwatch Network. Reports claim NATO's mine countermeasure fleet was forced to dock in Norway due to Storm Flores. But the truth is far more strategic. This wasn't just weather. It was about readiness, deterrence, and a message to Russia. So we're going to explore what really happened with NATO's mine countermeasures group in Norway and maybe uncover the deeper significance that goes far beyond just a simple weather report.
That's absolutely right. The public narrative around standing NATO mine countermeasures Group 1's SNMCMG-1 as its known activities, well, particularly that recent port call in Stavanger and its transit through what was reported as Storm Flores, it carries significantly deeper strategic implications.
Right.
What might have looked like, a forced stop because of bad weather was actually an integral part of their operational readiness. It was a critical, deliberate demonstration of capabilities. We can definitely break that down.
Okay, let's dig into the details then. The incident we're talking about involves SNMCMG-1. Currently, it's led by the Latvian Navy ship, the Virsaitis.
That's correct.
And this group made a port call in Stavanger, Norway, specifically from August 8th to the 11th, 2025. It wasn't just the Virsaitis either. His Majesty's Canadian ships, Edmonton and Yellowknife, were also part of this. Now, the key detail that got people talking was the group apparently sailing into Norway despite, well, heavy weather from what was called Storm Flores. That definitely sparked some discussion.
Yeah, and what's really fascinating here is that transit through those challenging conditions wasn't just some unfortunate coincidence or like a desperate dash for shelter.
Right.
According to NATO Maritime Command itself, actually operating through extreme weather like Storm Flores is absolutely crucial.
Crucial. How so?
Well, it allows Allied crews to, and I'm quoting here, refine interoperability and test readiness in unplanned circumstances.
Okay, so unplanned circumstances.
Exactly. This wasn't about avoiding the storm. It seems it was a deliberate choice, a way to demonstrate resilience, test their limits, and prove they can operate effectively even when, nature throws its worst at them. And apparently Storm Flores was pretty intense.
So a real test.
A real test. And frankly, you have to look at the context, particularly in the Baltic and North Sea regions where SNMCMG-1 often operates. This also serves as a potent message
To Russia.
to any potential adversary, really. It demonstrates NATO's unwavering capability and presence, even under duress. It's a quiet but firm signal of operational readiness and commitment.
So this wasn't a fleet running from a storm, but more a calculated act of testing and training, sending a subtle but clear message. That really puts a whole new spin on it.
It does.
Which brings us to the fundamental question. What exactly is SNMCMG-1 and why is this group so vital to NATO's overall mission?
Right. At its core, SNMCMG-1 provides NATO with a constant high-readiness mine countermeasures capability.
High-readiness MCM.
Think of it as NATO's immediate operational response force for keeping the seas clear of naval mines. And these aren't just theoretical threats, Naval mines can effectively shut down shipping lanes, cripple commerce, deny access.
Hugely disruptive.
Hugely. So this group operates on a rotational basis across some of the most strategically critical maritime areas: the Baltic Sea, the North Sea, and the Eastern Atlantic. The current rotation, in fact, is under the command of Commander Jonas Aas of the Latvian Navy, embarked aboard that same Virsaitis we mentioned earlier.
So constantly patrolling these key choke points and areas.
Essentially, yes. Their role is continuous, ensuring vital shipping lanes remain open and secure. It's a fundamental element of maritime security.
It's clear they're essential now, especially with, well, everything going on. But this group wasn't always called SNMCMG-1, was it? I gather its mission has expanded quite a bit over time. This is where it gets really interesting, looking at how it evolved.
Indeed. Yeah, this force has a pretty rich history of adaptation. It reflects the evolving nature of maritime threats and NATO's strategic priorities over decades. It was initially activated way back on May 11th, 1973.
1973.
Yes, at Ostend. And it had a very different name back then. The Standing Naval Force Channel, or STANA-4CHAN.
STANA-4CHAN.
Its initial mission was quite focused, ensuring safe navigation specifically around the English Channel and Northwest Europe. Mostly a defensive regional patrol kind of thing.
So a much tighter focus originally, just Western European waters.
Exactly. But that changed quite significantly. In June 1999, STANA-4CHAN, along with its sister force in the Mediterranean, MCM, formed.
Okay, there was a Med Force too.
Yes. They received a critical new task that pushed them well beyond their usual areas. They were deployed to the Adriatic Sea for Operation Allied Harvest.
Allied Harvest. What was that about?
Their mission there was incredibly sensitive and dangerous. It was to clear ordnance bombs, missiles that had been jettisoned, basically dumped, during Operation Allied Force, the Kosovo air campaign.
Right, clearing up after the conflict.
Precisely. And it was a massive undertaking. It involved a combined force of 11 mine hunters and minesweepers, plus a dedicated support ship. Just imagine the scale and the precision needed for that kind of operation in a post-conflict zone.
That sounds incredibly dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
A real-world test of their skills. What did they actually achieve in Allied Harvest?
It was incredibly important, and it really showed the practical life-saving value of mine countermeasures. Operation Allied Harvest kicked off its search activities on June 9, 1999, over 73 days.
73 days.
Yes, 73 days of searching. This combined force, often in challenging conditions, located and safely cleared an amazing 93 pieces of ordnance.
93, that's significant.
Very, and they covered 9 distinct areas spanning a vast 1,041 square nautical miles. That's about 3,570 square kilometers. It was a direct, tangible contribution to safety and stability, literally making the seas safe again, one dangerous item at a time. It really highlights how this quiet work underpins everything else, military and civilian shipping.
An incredible achievement, really underscores their vital role. So how did it then evolve from these separate forces, Stana Forchan and the Med One, into the single group SNMCMG-1 we know today?
Well, the force kept adapting its name to reflect its growing scope. On September 3, 2001, Stana Forchan was renamed the Mine Countermeasures Force Northwestern Europe, or MCM4 North.
MCM4 North.
Got it. And then finally, on January 1st, 2005, it adopted its current name, Standing NATO Mine Countermeasures Group 1 SNMCMG-1. These weren't just name changes for the sake of it, they really underscored a significant expansion of its mission and strategic focus, moving way beyond that original limited regional remit to become a more agile, responsive force for NATO across its whole area of responsibility.
Okay, so it's clear their operational tasks are paramount, both in big operations like Allied Harvest and the day-to-day patrols. But it's not just about what they do at sea, is it? There's also the significance of what happens when they're not at sea. Like during that recent Stavanger port call. It wasn't just about fuel and fixing things, right? What else do these visits achieve?
Absolutely. Beyond the crucial logistics resupply, crew rest, which are vital for keeping these ships going, these port calls offer what you might call softer benefits, but they are just as strategic, I'd argue.
Like what, for example?
Well, during their stay in Stavanger, the ships actually opened for guided tours for the public.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, imagine a young Norwegian student seeing these specialized vessels up close, maybe talking to sailors about their mission. It builds a connection, a deeper understanding of NATO's role beyond just news headlines.
Public engagement.
Exactly. They also celebrated Latvia's 106th Navy Day while they were there, with ceremonial dressing, overall flags, and pennants flying. And maybe most importantly for morale and team cohesion, the crews got a chance to experience some Norwegian culture.
Good for morale, certainly.
Hugely important for morale on deployment. But it also enhances international relations. It showcases NATO's presence, its commitment to collaboration between member states. It fosters invaluable goodwill, especially in communities near these strategic maritime locations. It's about showing transparency, the human side of these operations, and building trust. It shows what collective security actually looks like.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. Which brings us to the future. With naval warfare constantly changing, and we saw some comments in the source material about challenges, how are NATO's mine countermeasures capabilities adapting? It's not a static field, I imagine.
No, definitely not. And this raises an important point about ongoing modernization. We know, for example, from one commentator, Mickey, that Canada is planning to phase out its Kingston-class minesweepers over the next couple of years.
That includes the Edmonton and Yellowknife that were just in Stavanger.
That's right. Those vessels have served well, but they're being replaced by a new Corvette class. Now, this new class is designed to have significantly more firepower and crucially retain those essential mine countermeasures capabilities.
So upgrading but keeping the MCM focus.
Exactly. And they'll also support Canada's upcoming River-class destroyers and submarines. So it signifies a real effort to upgrade and modernize their naval contribution.
And what about other nations?
Well, we also saw a comment from someone called RB, noting what they perceived as a scarcity of British Royal Navy MCMV's mine countermeasures vessels in SNMCMG-1 compared to, say, historically.
Interesting point.
It is, and it underscores the ongoing challenges, things like national contributions fluctuating based on budgets and priorities, and just the continuous need for investment and adaptation in this really complex, evolving field of mine warfare. The threat changes, so the response has to change, too. so it's a constant cycle.
So pulling this all together then, when we look at the whole story of SNM-CMG-1, its origins back in the 70s, its vital work like Allied Harvest, its recent activities like the strategic Stavanger visit and sailing through Storm Flores and these ongoing modernization efforts, what does it really tell us, and you listening, about NATO's continuing critical role in maritime security and really global stability?
Well, if we connect all these dots, I think it suggests something quite profound. In today's increasingly complex, often contested geopolitical landscape, the seemingly quiet, often unsung work of these mine countermeasures groups like SNM-CMG-1 might actually be one of NATO's most consistently active and strategically vital tools.
Quiet but vital.
Exactly.
Oh.
Their work ensures open sea lanes. That's foundational not just for military movement, but for global commerce, global security, the free flow of goods, energy, information that our modern world absolutely depends on.
So underpinning the global economy, in a way.
Absolutely. And they also play a crucial role in deterrence, ensuring freedom of navigation, denying potential adversaries the ability to easily close off vital maritime choke points. Think about critical infrastructure today, undersea cables, offshore wind farms, pipelines, those vital shipping lanes.
All vulnerable.
Potentially, yes. And in a world where hybrid warfare and actions below the threshold of open conflict are more common, the quiet, persistent work of these MCM groups helps ensure those foundational elements remain intact. It's really a testament to how even seemingly small, specialized units can have an outsized strategic importance. They're constantly working, often out of the headlines, to underpin global stability. So, the question for you to consider is, what does this continued dedication, clearing minds, adapting to new threats, testing readiness in tough conditions, what does it mean for the balance of power and naval strategy in the years ahead?
That's a powerful perspective and definitely some food for thought. Thank you for joining us for this exploration of SNM-CMG-1's vital role. We really hope you enjoyed this discussion and gained some valuable insights. If you did, please do take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the Global Warwatch Network. We'd also genuinely love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And you can always connect with us on social media. All the links you need are right there in the description. Thanks for listening.